So first look at problem one for the event, one we were speculating.
Oh yeah, definitely going about it in a way.
Quite clear from that it's quite tricky.
Yes. Oh yeah, he's trying to figure out just a little bit on that first move. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh. The foot points get on. Off early.
Very interesting start though. I mean, yeah, basically, that's going to work. That was the one thing that didn't occur to us. Went for a look.
Exactly. Yeah. You never know what could work, I guess, until you really commit for it. She's going for it again, so she must have felt that maybe it could have worked if she changed one little thing.
So we missed that the first time. She started with a left hand on, a right hand on the tiny yellow hole, and then instantly got rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then matched. Oh wow.
Interesting. When we did our little walkthrough, it wasn't actually the woman's problem that stood out in the wall.
Yeah.
We get this from every competitor.
Yeah, the movements we're going to see, the body positions are going to be pretty wild, I think. You always wonder what the route setters planned on this one.
Certainly be interesting to pick the brains of a route setter later. We are planning to do that.
Exactly. Chimney. Looks like Kip is still a hard time with the first. I think he's still committing for the static version of it.
I think we can see behind him now two starting hole two results. You have to have that lower Kip. Or are you going to have to go for that?
It's hard to say. He's like. It's hard to say. The whole match on that, but he needs to come in really quick, paddle his way through to the bonus. Maybe somebody will launch and paddle all the way to. You never know.
Great. That is the beating of 1 minute through these climbers yet has missed the boat hole, let alone the top. How do you put it first or last? Do you think it is a big advantage to start for last?
I think depending on the situation, it could be depending on if the comp's on outside or inside, or if there's 90 guys, you know, and you're the last guy. It could affect the style, the feel of the holds, the tempo. As far as that was close. But yeah, mentally, I think everyone's differently. Sven seems pretty good. There seems to be some good air circulation, and I didn't hear too many complaints yesterday. She reversed right away. So something up there telling them to turn around. It's cool. Experience maybe. Wow. Yeah. Oh, this left hook. That's so. That's talk about activity. That's great. Yeah, maybe you don't need to.
It would be interesting to know if you've ever had a World Cup problem that's been climbed back to the top. I think that's what we're trying to figure out how.
Oh. Oh, what a weird, crazy boulder.
Great for the route setters to give something like that first hit. Martin's doing his own cleaning there. Katter asked for a clean as well. What do you think I mean, I know there's no formula, but the right balance between stand and look at a problem and just having a go is? Because we saw both of them standing still for quite a long time there.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you're falling in the boulder. You know, if you're getting stumped on the first move, maybe thinking about it a little bit more than throwing yourself at it.
So if you fall off right near the end, you can't even jump back straight on.
No, I wouldn't. I would definitely rest at the end just as well, but just because you're tired.
Okay, so Katter tries again. We only had the briefest of look at these boulders, but neither of you and I spotted that they're going to try this backwards, and yet two competitors have come out, not even attempted it facing in.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how many girls go for the backwards out of all of them. Wow.
I guess that's why we would spot this boulder. We would try it for. Martin also. So we're nearly 2 climbers in. Nearly 2 climbers have their full 5-minute allocations and no bonus holds.
Yeah.
That is 1 minute to go for Katter and for Martin. So Martin is going to try and use that intermediate foothold.
Wow.
Even by the standards of strong rock climbers and strong Czech rock climbers, such as his good friend Adam Ondra, Martin is an extremely powerful climber. So just because he's trying this statically, it doesn't mean everyone's going to.
Exactly.
Katter doesn't like it. She's heading inside, saving her energy.
Interesting.
So Alice Dufresne and Kipras Baltrunas will be out again.
We got Martin with the bonus.
And Martin's onto the bonus.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Look there, like he might have it. Still, first bonus. Big round of applause to the crowd. So the climbers we've already seen are joined by Tomoe Narasaki of Japan and Vera Zijlstra from the Netherlands. I have a lot of Dutch friends that are probably screaming at their YouTube now how that should be pronounced. I can only apologise.
We'll just call her Vera for now.
We'll stick with Vera. If that works for you, that works for me.
I think she prefers.
So Tomoe, straight on, not too much of a look. Yeah, he's
wow.
trying it dynamically. That was our guess when we looked at it. Kipras is on to men's problem 2.
Yeah, a flash to bonus, which, you know, it's the first move, but those holds are bad that his foot is on right now. But this, oh, wow, that looks so physical.
Moves like that can often be quite deceptive. We're used to seeing videos of climbers training, they're pulling, they're on the fingerboard. You've got to move like that. It's such a different type of strength.
Yes.
You've got to go from pulling to kind of hugging it, flick your elbow underneath it and then push. Really technical move, and he straight through it.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it to him, and I think he might be realising himself, but he's actually only halfway through.
And now the route setters want you to be flexible and get your left foot up after this move. And oh, wow.
don't speak Lithuanian, but I would imagine there's a few choice Lithuanian words in his head when he's thinking about the route setters, because they put that handhold just out of reach.
Yeah.
I think if that was in reach, you'd be up in the second and onto the top. So Tomoa has another go. Now he's going for the static approach, using that small foothold.
Yeah.
Looking solid on the rail.
Using a little knee there. Wow.
The wall up, small technical issue. Judge is just clarifying a few things to him. That wall he's on is actually quite deceptive. It's much more overhanging than it looks. So that volume that he's going to, that's grey on the left and black on the right, you will see in a second, it looks positive. When you're underneath the wall, it's far from it.
Yeah, that wall probably has a 15-degree overhang onto it. So those slopey volumes probably don't feel that good on them.
Even once he's onto the bonus hold and beyond it, the black tape on the right-hand side of that boulder denotes that he can't reach over, he can't bridge onto that little section of wall to the right. He has to stay on the main panels of the wall. So there's no getting away from the overhang. Can't bridge, can't get a foot out. Tomoa's from Utsunomiya, which is 100 kilometers north of Tokyo. We're going to be there next week. Not quite there, but in Kazo, which is also just north of Tokyo, for round 2 of the World Cup. A lot of climbing to be on before then, though.
I bet Toma's excited to have a World Cup in his home country.
Kip going for it again. Once again, cruises up to the bonus. Again, curses the route setters. But that's their job. That's what they're paid for.
Oh.
Such a frustrating move. We're watching it and it looks like you just put your foot on it.
Yeah.
But that big bonus hold that he's got his hand on, it slopes down. So as soon as you start to move your leg around to put it on it, your hand starts to come off. So he's somehow got to figure a way of getting his foot almost underneath his elbow, next to his wrist, whilst keeping his center of gravity pinned into the wall.
Exactly. It's like such a big hold. I wonder if you can even get like a little smear on the bottom of it. Not necessarily just the top, but just something to hold your weight in.
And still no tops.
Yeah, I mean, how many? Do we only have 2 bonuses right now as well? Only on men's 1 and 2.
So now we're going to get our first look for 2016 on the live stream. Jongwon Chon, he won the overall Boulder World Cup last year. He was steady but unremarkable the first 2 events last year, and he went on a rampage. He came 3rd, 2nd, then 2 wins in the last 4 events of last year. So judging by 2015, he's a slow starter. And that was played out yesterday. Finished 17th, which for the reigning champion is perilously close to not being in the semis at all. But he made it. Jumped straight on the problem.
Yeah, that's very true. A lot of the competitors came out yesterday after their climb and looked at Jongwon Chong's score and was like, wow, he only has 2 tops. This round must have been really hard. Like, you know what? They're walking away with 1 top or 2 top thinking they're not in, but 2 tops yesterday got you in the semifinals in some case.
Quite a contrast to the women's. We had 9 climbers with 5 tops. So it's very different competition, and he nearly got caught out. But as I say, last season, first couple of events, he was there or thereabouts, but I don't think anyone really had him down as a potential winner. And then on a rampage the second 2/3 of the season.
Looked like he was just getting his groove going early on and just caught the groove train the rest of the season.
It's an interesting thing to think about, really, because you're just not happy with how he used that first foothold. Yeah, I was about to say, it's an interesting thing to think about because this Boulder World Cup physically is so difficult for the climbers because we're here in Meiringen, then we ship out to Japan, maybe get 1 or 2 nights in your own bed for the European climbers. Then we're straight down to Chongqing in China. We have 2 weeks off, and in the middle of that, some of the climbers might do the speed. Then we go to Mumbai. We're back to Europe. 6 days later, we're in Innsbruck. Then we have a break to Colorado, then a bigger break to Munich. So how do you taper your training program?
I think a lot of these athletes aren't training at a certain point when the season kicks off. They're just maintaining, resting, and trying to ride the maybe a plateau of strength and experience throughout the season.
I was just thinking in relation to Zhongwan from last year, how nothing special in the first 2 events. Do you think there's a chance he is tapering his training? He might know he's not at full strength right now?
It could be. There could be different strategies for a lot of the athletes. You know, maybe they started training a little late so they can peak mid-season, or started really early so they could win the first cup and have that title right off the bat. Martin looks like he's struggling with that first move that Kip somehow managed to maybe flash. I'm not sure, but
we were perhaps a little harsh on Kip. We were saying, oh, that first move up to the bonus, that's no problem. It's the bit after it, but Martin's struggling to get there. So Zhongwan tries again. Really doesn't like that rail.
Yeah. Zhongwan usually is, you see him yarding past on crimps and things like that. So this is maybe his weakness. See if he can pull it together and at least get bonus. Or we're not sure if you'll need how many tops you'll need at this point, but maybe a bonus will secure him.
Well, after yesterday, only 17, he is a man with a point to prove, over only to himself. Meanwhile, I haven't mentioned Sol Sa. She's on the intriguing problem 1 for the women and also trying it backwards.
And the climbers are off. There's only so many attempts you can give in 5 minutes on a very confusing boulder and boulder problems. Our next set of athletes are out previewing.
So our first look at Alana Yip, Canada. I think she's going through the same thought process as the other women on problem 1. She's thinking, am I going to face backwards here? No, maybe not.
No, maybe she's just giving it a good feel, and no, it looks like they just naturally turn. That's amazing.
It's also our first chance to have a look at Michael Mauem of France.
Michael looks like a very dynamic climber. So he pulled off the ground and just went for the big dyno right across the wall. So we'll see if he sticks with it or goes into the slow-mo.
as the climbers work their way through as well, it's also our first chance to look at how they do problems 3. And Kip, who climbed well on problem 2 without quite getting it, looks like he might be about to give us our first top.
Oh, yeah.
Again, one more mantle. Little slap of the wall, very happy. First top of the day.
Very nice.
Great work, Kip. Didn't take him long, 3 minutes left. Gets
Yeah.
a couple of minutes extra rest. It's also our first look at women's problem 3. Alize Defrez. This was one of the ones we identified as possibly being horsepower based. You train hard, this may be the problem that rewards you the most.
Yeah, the female number 3 boulder looks maybe a bit straightforward. Obviously, there's some funky hip maneuvers that you have to do, but it looks kind of just like horsepower, like you're saying, and finger strength.
It's interesting for the crowd and mere mortals like myself. Some of the boulders, women's 1 springs to mind here. You walk up to it and you think, well, they're going to have to levitate. You can't climb that. Women's 3 was one of the few ones where I thought, if I spent a year on a fingerboard, I could kind of see how you might climb this one. But Alize has not done it. It's possibly the most physical and powerful of the boulders, but it is one that the sequence is, if not obvious, you can see how they're likely to do it. So Tomoa, he's on problem 2, heading up for the bonus. No. I feel we owe an apology to Kypros Petrounas.
Again.
We almost wrote off how easily he did that first move. Everyone else had struggled with it.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen anybody trying to press up on that bonus hold yet since Kip.
And he also topped problem 3. Could be he was 20th in the qualifiers, scraped into the semis, but arguably the best of the climbs we've seen so far. He's had the most joy. Could be an outside bet for the finals. You never know.
Yeah, you had mentioned earlier about how it feels to come in, going first, going into this round, or coming out last. And sometimes when you go first, you don't have the pressure, you don't have the expectations of people expecting you to make the next round, and you kind of just climb free. And maybe that's what Kip's feeling right now, and he's riding that.
Also, the Lithuanian team. It's not known as a climbing nation. They'll be delighted he made it into the semis. I bet he enjoyed his dinner and maybe a little half a beer last night in celebration. So there's no pressure on him. He comes out here, he's enjoying it.
Exactly.
Get in front of the semis, and who knows what can happen. He's only made 1 semi before. That was in Grindelwald in 2014. So you can enjoy the experience. Relax. No top from Alize there.
Wow, what a hard round.
Very tough round. So, could be in for a treat here. It's the first time we've seen a climber on women's 4. So, quick check of the results. Martin Stranick leading in the men's. My early outsider tip is still Kypros, so.
And I think that's actually pretty accurate. I don't think any girls have gotten any bonus holds yet, as of right now. So we have Jakob Schubert stepping up for his first boulder.
So there is the women's bouldering. No tops, no bonuses. Wow. Worth bearing in mind though, the last 9 out of the 20 female climbers out topped all 5 boulders in the qualification. So something tells me that leaderboard is going to look slightly different in a couple of hours' time. Catches Alvine's out. Let's just have a look at problem 3. Just get it cleaned. Just to remind you, this was the one that we felt was kind of readable and a sort of finger strength power boulder. Knowing what sort of problem it is, and knowing that you need strong fingers, however, is not the same as having strong fingers and being able to do it.
That's true. It's too late to get strong fingers now.
I think if you're training in the semis, you might have left it a bit too late.
Could help for the next comp, maybe.
So, catches Alvine. Native of Innsbruck. Good place to grow up. A lot of strong climbers in Innsbruck. Well represented here.
Martin did the made bonus on this move, quite different than Kip. There we go.
So Martin, who's the current leader, will extend his lead.
Beautiful.
Top on problem 3. Happy man.
Yeah. Oh. I would say that's a lot of body tension there. You know, we thought maybe the that boulder was all horsepower, but it looks like a little bit more. Looks like a little bit of body tension to kick that left foot out.
This is where it can be so interesting, because we walk down the front, we have a look, we say to each other, we have your expert eye. Oh, that looks like a problem. If you can pull hard.
There's Martin again. Nice slow-mo shot of the smile and the top out on man number 2, which is nice because the other two are kind of shutdowners. Martin was the only guy to get bonus on number 1, but he struggled on number 2. Must feel good to get that top in.
So, here's Kasper. Further along the wall is Jakob, a fellow Team Austria member, Jakob Schubert. Here goes Catcher.
Oh.
Oof. So how reading that problem, I don't mind admitting it, was miles off. Those footholds are proving extremely difficult to stay on. You see on the right hand side of your screen there, Jongwon Chom trying for the bonus hold. And also not finding it easy.
I think we're in for a really interesting round here. With the setting right now and seeing these amazingly talented climbers struggle on these moves, just, yeah, we're in for a good show.
Jakob doesn't like this. He's quite an all-round climber, Jakob. I mean, mainly a lead climber, I think it'd be fair to say, but very much an all-rounder.
Wow.
He doesn't like that. Jakob's problem one bit.
No. Recently, Jakob was in Waco. Was able to watch him, climb him a little bit. Definitely a boulder as well. The man can pull hard, and just knowing how strong he was in Waco and seeing him right now, I mean, yeah, it's like I said, a good show.
I sometimes feel a bit bad describing people as all-rounders. It doesn't mean you're a jack of all trades, master of none. I think in the case of Jakob, you're kind of master of all trades. If you're winning World Cups in bouldering and lead, you're an all-rounder, you're world-class in both. On-sighted 9 recently this spring. It puts him in the elitist clubs. It's full top on men's 3. It's the only grips with on a regular basis.
Wow. We have an interesting move here from Michael.
And men's problem 2, that only Kip has had any joy. Only Kip's had any joy on. Mikael Merwen came at it completely differently. So Jessica Pilz. Also facing backwards. She's from Haag and Linz in central Austria. She was something of a revelation last year in the lead competition. We knew she was promising, and we thought she'd make some finals. Ended up in every single final last year in the lead competition. And looking pretty promising in the boulder. She's the first person to have a real attempt at nailing that move of turning round and facing back in. Catches Alvine, spent quite a long time pinned underneath that boulder with her back to the wall without actually getting too close at turning round. But Jessica went for it straight away.
Mid-morning, 2 minutes to go.
Here on M1 we've got GB climber Dave Barons. He's a veteran of the sport. Lives in Skipton in Yorkshire, in the north of England. And he's on to the bonus hold.
Wow.
Oh, there's a big cheer from the crowd. They and I thought he was going to stick that. Yeah, he's been competing a long time, Dave. 34 now, by the standards of professional climbers. That is pretty ancient, but one of the best attempts we've seen on that problem.
I think his experience is paying off there, and somehow he just sticks to those volumes so much better than everyone else. It's impressive to say the least. We first climbers on the fourth boulders already. We have Kip and Allez-y.
Well, I think Kip with a bonus on problem 2, top of problem 3. He's in with a chance here if he can top this. Chalky up, take his time. As we said earlier, there's not a lot of pressure on him. He's going for the Adam Ondra Gigi Monde afro. I'm not jealous. I'm okay. You think he's going to lunge for this boulder? This bonus, sorry. He does.
Yeah, he's going about this a slightly different way.
Does it static? Ooh.
Wow. He's kind of avoiding that left blue pinch out on the left side of the roof there. I'm wondering if he's thinking this could go with a little skip. He's clearly got bonus already.
So he's kind of pushing that hole into his chest. It looks from here like if he can use that left one. No, okay. I was going to say if he can use that left one, perhaps get his right hip in, possibly in a better position, but that black hole may be further than it looks.
Yeah, and from the profile we just saw it at, it was not a good hold. It was actually a lot more slopey than I thought. Originally I thought it might have been a pinch, but I think it's just a big sloper.
So we have a quick recap of the latest score. So, Kypros Baltrinas, admittedly the first out, but perhaps something of a surprise leader. He's had 1 top and 1 bonus. Martin Stranik, he has 2 bonuses. He also topped problem 3, just to update our scores. And Jongwon Chom is currently in 3rd, but at this stage not looking like the dominant force he was towards the end of last season. Can't reiterate enough though, he started last season slowly. You can see here, men's problem 1 is Jörg Verhoeven. He is the partner of Katja Zauwein. They live together in Innsbruck. And he wasn't impressed with the cleaning job being done on the problem, so he took over himself. You want a job doing? Do it yourself. We talked earlier about all-rounders, and Jörg, I think, pretty much defines it. You name it, he's done it. First Lead World Cup 2002. Won his first Lead World Cup in 2005. His overall Lead World Cup run in 2008. Huge cheer from the crowd there. We had a top on women's problem 2. So I was just saying, Jorg, huge experience all round. And also a top. Women's problem 3, they're falling like flies here.
Amazing. Who was that just topped number 3? I didn't get to see it. Huh. Solsa, maybe?
We will confirm that for you shortly. The crowd here in Meiringen is filling up nicely, which is great for the atmosphere. Not so good if there's some action on the far side. And there's yet more action in the men's competition. Martin Stranik drops problem 4. And there's a long way to go, but you have to say, he could well make the final here.
It might depend on the attempts to top at this point. Maybe 2 gets you in if you flash both of them. But we still have a good amount of competitors coming out. We're not even halfway, are we?
No, it's
almost.
Extraordinarily strong lineup. We were chatting before the comp began, and we said, certainly in the men's, pretty much everyone you'd expect to be in the semis is here. Realistically, the final could be one of, I would say, anyone in the semi. There's no one here that you think, semis is probably their limit. I think everyone here could make it, including Jakob Schubert. He's got that determined look in his eyes. Got the left arm underneath him.
Oh, that's a hard press.
Last minute to go. Jakob doesn't like that. He's going back inside, saving energy.
Margot's been on the wall for a little bit. Looked like she was gaining some. She had matched the big black volume right before the bonus, but again she was facing away and trying to turn.
So catches our vine, she's on problem 4. From our pre-comp walk, we identified this as potentially one of the more interesting problems. There's kind of volumes and holds everywhere, and when we speculated about how you might do it, we thought, oh no, that's the way, and then you look at it a bit long and you think, oh no, maybe.
It's about
problem 1.
It's about committing to one idea, I guess, 110% and hoping it works.
Do you have a rule in your head if you've a problem like that, women's 4, where there's, as we can see, Katja going for it. There's lots of different ways of doing it. When do you change plans? If you've tried it, it's not working, do you start afresh, or do you just think, you know what, I've only got 5 minutes, it's either going to go like this or it's not going to go at all?
I think it's hard to get into the tunnel vision like that, or it's easy to get in tunnel vision like that. It's hard to say, okay, no, this isn't going to work. I need to move on to a plan B or a plan C. And I think the best way to eliminate that is really just trying your absolute hardest. And if you can't do it and you're not close, maybe that's not it.
One of the interesting elements of competition climbing versus outdoor bouldering is you've got 5 minutes. If these guys were here for the rest of the day, we'd have 20 climbers topping 20 boulders. Topping 4 boulders each. When you've only got 5 minutes, fine line between committing to a certain way and getting tunnel vision.
Exactly.
Problems like women's 4 is perfect for that.
Allez, Mikael!
I'm gonna give you a talkie. If you can tell me, because you probably know better than me who is
Michael with the top of number 3. Another French climber just stepped onto the scene here. Jeremy Bondier, no stranger to the semifinals or even finals for that matter.
I was going to attempt the French pronunciation, Bondet, but I like Bonder better. Sounds cooler.
Honda?
Bonder. Probably best for everyone if my French accent doesn't get wheeled out. Been climbing a long time, Jeremy Bondet. Started competing at 8. He's from Paris, which for a boulder is a dream location. Fontainebleau, just to the south.
Tomoa trying to work out the sequence on trying different bait on men number 4. Looked like he was trying to get out of his tunnel vision and try something a little bit different. You can also see Alanya Yip here. Nearly getting bonus on her last attempt. Very smooth by Alana.
Here she goes. Now.
Looked like she just needed to get that right foot up and maybe subtle drop knee across to the lip. Alana actually won the Canadian Nationals this year up in Vancouver.
So we can see on men's 1, Jeremy Bondet doesn't like that.
Ooh.
Really doesn't like it.
No, he's
Very Gallic shrug there as he walks off. Quite surprising for people who haven't visited Fontainebleau, and if you haven't been to Fontainebleau, I can't recommend it highly enough. You'd have thought that sort of problem might suit him. Open hand. Fontainebleau, there's a lot of slopers, a lot of body tension. Not so much crimp strength, it's about your movement, your open hand strength. Quite surprised Jeremy didn't like that problem.
Jeremy does, I think, really enjoy crimps and small holds, so maybe he's just waiting for his boulder to come through. Fresh set of climbers coming through here.
Yeah, we have Jorg Verhoeven on men's 2. We were chatting about Jorg earlier, saying what an all-rounder is. Not many people competing in Boulder World Cups who've also free climbed El Capitan. Probably puts him in a category of 1 unless you know better.
I would agree with you there.
It's also our first look at Kokoro Fuji and Petra Klinger on women's 1. The crowd love Petra Klinger. They were delighted when she got 11th yesterday. Big cheer there from the French. Clémentine Kaiser of France. Top problem 3. and her very well represented country gave out a big cheer, which you may have heard. The locals, though, are all over on this left side of the wall for women's problem 1, where the local climber, Petra Klingler, is setting up and once again facing backwards.
It may not seem like a lot, but I think that female Boulder 1 just takes a lot out of you because you're pressing every part of your body and your back, and everything is fully in work mode on that number 1 boulder for the girls. And I'm sure it's hard to stay in there and think.
Speaking of physical problems, Jorg, who I've already said is an all-rounder, has climbed on the British Gritstone. So it should be good, you would imagine. This sort of funky, mantly, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very, people are familiar with the English Gritstone. You would have thought it's the sort of move that would suit a man that likes a grit.
Jorg showing a little frustration on those feet there. Those setters put those nasty feet on a nice subtle overhanging wall just to get those reactions, I'm sure. There he goes.
And when the climbers are getting frustrated, got to remember that's exactly what the route setters are there to do. They're there to make it difficult. The last place they're going to put that left foothold is where he wants it. Quick look at Jongwon Chon on problem 3. He's doing that move completely differently. He's lunging for it with his right hand. We only caught the end of that attempt, but it looked like he had the potential to stick it. I guess the key is stopping your feet swing out too far.
That's true. We only have 1 top on that boulder as well from Martin, and I wasn't really sure how he managed to hold the bonus, if he was trying the kip beta with matching the first pinch in the roof, or if he was doing this beta that Chongwon Jong is doing and jumping over the lip. We'll see right now if Chong can stick the move. Here he goes, he's thinking about it.
So he's using that left hand hold, whereas Kipras earlier just completely ignored it. He's got time for another go and he'll take it. I think he feels he can do this. He chalked up and got straight back on. It's obviously not taking too much out of him. Gets the left pinch. Look of concentration. Each go he's a bit closer. The problem with these handholds like that slope down is when you first get them, you feel okay, and then as your feet swing out underneath you with the momentum, hand just peels off it, and that's what happened to Jongwon. If he can control that swing, stands a chance, but he's out of time. Go in, get a 5-minute rest, and he'll be out for his final problem. So just a quick recap on the results. Martin Stranik still leads the men's competition. Jongwon Chon, although he's not been at his best, still up there. And in the women's, Clementine Kaiser, perhaps Kaiser in French, I'm happy to stand corrected. It's followed by Solsar. Be fair to say it would be a surprise if either of those two made it into the finals.
That would be impressive considering where they place, but the round is different and difficult, so it seems like it could be anybody's game right now with either 1 or 2 tops.
So Yanya Ganbray of Slovenia is out on women's problem 1.
Janja's a very talented youth climber, all around lead and boulder competitor. She competed in Arco this past year as well, and had a really great showing in Arco.
Really doesn't like this first move. It is worth pointing out she is primarily a lead climber, and you don't get that many moves like this when you're leading. But she stuck that, I don't know what to call it, an undercling? An underpush?
Yeah, an underpush.
We'll call it an underpush.
We'll call it an underpress or something.
Underpress. I like that. Not to be confused with anything else. So Janja comes up for another go. Only 17, born in 1999, which I suspect will make a few people feel very old. So she's doing it slightly differently. She gets the right hand up, then sets the feet, and then the left hand follows. Oh, she stuck it from nowhere.
Wow.
She had one look and just launched. And she tops it. Big cheer from the crowd and well earned.
Amazing.
The first move off the ground, she could barely get into that sitting position. Really looked like she was struggling. Gets herself set on what we've christened the underpress. 10 seconds later, she had both hands on the top hole, sorry. Can we see it? Wow.
A great little pogo there with her left leg to create some momentum off that crimp, so she didn't have to pull on it too much. She just used her momentum to get to that finishing jug.
Finally a bit of mercy from the route setters. At least the top hold is a jug.
I was about to say the same.
The hole just before it, which she stuck as if it was a jug, is minute.
Yes.
So less than a centimetre edge, which on that angle, coming at it with momentum, is extremely hard to hang.
Oh.
We got another top, Michael Mauen of France.
It looked like he was trying hard at the end of that. You could see his elbow kind of pop out a little, like he was a little power pump, but man, he pulled through. That was amazing.
So 2 tops in as many minutes.
Oh, and Chloe from Belgium just finished off female number 2. With style, too. That was a really nice finishing move. We have
Ray Sugimoto is out onto problem 1. We can just see him over the crowd.
Is that Fanny Gibert from France on female number 1 as well?
Fanny Gibert, she climbed well in the Quiff in Sheffield, the climbing competition. Gave Shauna Coxey a real run for her money. You have to say, she'll be hopeful for the finals. Worth remembering, these climbers have just come in from isolation. She might know from the look on Janja's face that she topped it, but at the same token, she might not know.
Some competitors take the isolation zone a little differently. Some like to just kind of keep their head down and their music on, and some people read other faces and emotions. So you often wonder what her game plan is back there.
Well, if Janja is one of the people that keeps herself to herself in isolation, she's got a very nice secret, which is that she top problem 1, and no one else has really looked that close. Fanny Gibert facing in from much earlier.
Yeah. I think if she can get her right foot up on that yellow hold, she might be able to reach the bonus.
We didn't see it on the live stream, but she'll have to touch that left-hand foothold on that problem. Whether she uses it or not is up to her, but she will have to touch it with one of her limbs before doing anything else.
Our YouTube broadcasting is hosted by Charlie Bosco. Meiringen is saying hello to the world.
So Fanny Gibert, she shakes out. Okay. We were pondering how she'd touch that hold out to the left, the tiny one, but she just taps it and then gets on with the problem. And she's going to face in.
A little bit of flexibility involved in that. Oh, interesting. Wow.
Ooh.
Much different beta than Janja, but amazing. She faced in, I believe, the whole time on that route.
Well, she's done it. I'm not chalking that down as commentator's curse. I didn't say she was about to do it, but I was about to say she did look very good on that problem, did it completely different to everyone else, and nearly got the second top.
It seems like she got there easy enough that she might be able to do it again and hopefully secure the end there. Jakob with different beta too on the lower part of the screen here on male number 4. Much different beta.
Yeah, we go straight through the left hand. So what you need to think now, is going to get his foot up or is he going to go? Predictions now, please.
Prediction, he's going for the crimp.
He does. I made it look easy.
Wow.
Cross through. Cross through to finish from Jakob. Be good to see a quick replay of that from Jakob. Got that familiar fist pump celebration that we see in lots of other sports. He'll be a happy man. Just to reiterate, he's won events in both lead and boulder. And we do get to have another look at it. Crosses through. It really is hard to state the power of these athletes. If you went down to the local bouldering wall, tried to hold that hold on that wall, and then cross through, it would be the living end.
Yeah. I think you would just look at it as a foothold and move on maybe. Strong work by Jakob.
Well, we've had a slight change of personnel in the commentary. Adam Pustelnik.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you the chief route setter? Can I say that?
I'm not the chief route setter. The chief is Laurent. I'm just a part of the team.
But you speak excellent English, and you know your stuff when it comes to route setting. So while Josh goes for a quick coffee pit stop, you're going to help us out.
Yeah, we're going to go through what's happening here, huh? How are you enjoying this one?
This women's from 1.
Like,
set that? Do you want to name names? Who set the problems?
No. Come on, we're a team, man. It's all teamwork. It's all teamwork, and hey, come on. It's a team job that we do, and it's more
the
maybe.
has been superb though. We've had the most unusual looking problems, and this women's from 1, which Britain's Leah Crane is on.
Yeah.
has possibly been the most interesting of all. Because every climber has started it. I think even Fanny Gibert started it with her back to the wall.
Yeah, well, if you see precise, you've got left and right marks on the starting or the starting colors, you know. So it's in a way an indication for the climbers as well to get into the starting position, because it's we found this one as an easier starting position, but you could see you got Fanny Gibert starting it the other way around, and still she made it, and it looked interesting as well. So that's the part of the game, you know, like we can do different things here and we can try out, but in the end it's the competitors that do the show. It's not us. Like, we propose just things, and then it's up for them to act within 5 minutes, you know, and to give a show to the public and to do their best to win the comp.
Of course. And that was a long first attempt from Leah. You hope it hasn't taken too much out of her.
Yeah, now we can see the wall quite well. I mean, like, it turns out, as we look at what's happening right now, but it's the first problems that cause most difficulty to the climbers. The further on they go, they do these problems. It just gets a little bit easier for them, and it's quite interesting to see how the best are going to do on these first ones, because it seems like that this is a little bit of what's going to take you to the final, huh?
Absolutely. You route setters are harsh. Hard problems first up.
Oh.
No gimmies at the start.
I mean, it's a World Cup, in the
Of
end.
course.
In the end of the day, these climbers, they know what they're coming for, and I guess they're expecting this a bit as well, you know, to get good rounds, to get rounds that are demanding, maybe not hard, but demanding. Let's see Ty on number 2, because he's getting really, really close. He's probably one of the first ones to get his feet up that ball, and maybe we'll get to see a top in a second. You have to remember that it's still not a. That's
Tyler
Thailand.
Landman.
Yeah, that's Thailand,
Great Britain.
but it's not over yet. I mean, like, watch out. There's still one more hole. There's no feet, and there's a long way to get to the hole. You can see on number 2 for women, Janja Gambred topping it out. So we began to see tops now happening.
Just quickly on problem 2 here for the men. We've got Tyler Landman. He's stood on top of the bonus hold. You say it's not over. Can you tell us that hole he's going to, the final hole? We can see the hole he's on now is tiny. The last hold, what is that like?
That's good.
It is good.
It is good. But it's just a move to commit for. And you could see with ladies number 1, as Janja did it, you could see like, maybe no problem. But then you could see Fanny Gibert on it, and it turned out to be a problem. It turned out not to be so easy. So that's the type of the move you just have to commit a little bit more. And the way we place the bonus as well, it indicates the fact that, okay, as much as you've got the mantle done, it should not get one more super hard move. It should a little bit go down with difficulty. So it seems like it's working. It's really interesting to see. Okay, we've got now Leah back on number 1. They don't want to. The original method was with a jump. Was with a jump up of that reverse move, but we can see not many women being really committed to do it that way.
Another big cheer here. Women's 3, Petra Klingler.
That's an important one for Petra. She hasn't been on top yet on any of these boulders, and as much as I saw it, she didn't get any bonus neither, so it's kind of a different style. It's a little bit more forward with power. We'll see how she does with that one. And on men number 1, we've got Sean McCall coming up.
Let's look at Sean McCall.
I don't know if it's his first attempt. I guess so. It seems kind of strange that some of these guys, they seem to forget that there's a small foot just below the 4 volume, and many of them just don't see it. Seem to be somehow skipping it. Okay.
die Schweizer Fans für den Wettbewerb.
Huge cheer from the crowd there, because one of their own, Petra Klingler, has just topped at Boulder 3. She looks delighted as well, she might. Big smile. Long junior career, and she made it into the
Let's see what
senior in
happens.
2009.
Let's see what happens with Jörg Verhoeven. But no, he's off. You can see that there's different betas on this boulder, and it's kind of interesting to see how fast the guys get it done. And that one, you've got back again Sean McCall on number 1, now with the foot and trying the triple jump. Let's see women's number 2, that's the slab happening with Fanny Gibet.
So it's good to have a long look at Sean McCall. It's interesting having a route setter here, because Josh and I were talking and we're saying, are they going to do this statically? Are they going to do it dynamically? What was the consensus from the route setting team?
The consensus was you get the you get the match on the first volume that you reach up quite static and slow. You reach out slow to the next one, then that's when you pick up speed and have to match and get the shoulder move being quite close to the wall and just hang in there. So the idea is this thing goes slow,
Slow to
put
here.
up the foot,
Yeah.
exactly, slow up, and still control the way that Sean does it. You just have to grab the volume slightly in a different way, in different positions, to get a little bit more control on these moves. But I don't know if you remember what was Martin Stranning doing on this thing. And
He was trying to do it statically.
he was really arriving with it much more. And what he did, in fact, was standing with the right foot.
Top
And,
on men's problem 4 there for Jörg Verhoeven.
Yep.
Here we go, swings his left foot round. Reaches through, same as Jakob Schubert did when he topped it. Easy as you like. He's a native of, not native of Innsbruck, but lives in Innsbruck now. So him and Jakob train in the same gym, the famous Tivoli gym, on the southern side of Innsbruck. And they did that move exactly the same.
Well, that move is a little bit over the problem. It's at the very end of it.
So we saw Sean having another go at men's press.
Goes a little bit too fast, and I think what is the optimal way, but I'm quite confident that I could do it with one of these guys. It's one of the last attempts. He's got 20 seconds left on the clock. No. Unfortunately not for Sean. Maybe, 15 seconds more. No. Next up on the lift we have Alexei Rubtsov coming up for this problem number 1. But at the same time, come on, what a way to finish problem, you know. We had Fanny Joubert on problem number 2, finish it at the very last seconds, and what might give her a fair chance to get into the finals, because this problem so far has seen only 3 tops before. Exactly, we'll have the results coming up very shortly for the women's. So
Janja Gambret of
Yeah.
Slovenia, perhaps a surprise early leader. She was very strong in the lead last year.
but
2 tops so far.
But as we've seen her in some different competition, we know that she is definitely one of the girls that can come very high. Let's see her right now on number 3, because she's gonna finish this one up in a second. She's flashing it. It's gonna arrive, yeah. Well, that was fast. That went up very fast, and exactly what I just wanted to say, that, well, she was already in the lead, even though it was after the first 2 problems, and what we said before, but it's number 3 probably that got top most so far. So having her in the lead so fast, that's really good. and that might show as well the difference, you know, of skills between these girls that were up in the qualies, got qualified to the semis, and what we can expect to happen in the final. Because we can already see now that there is something more in how Janja did compete throughout these three problems.
So we're on women's problem 1.
We're back
Britain's
again.
Michaela Tracy.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen her in the semi-finals.
Not feeling very comfortable with this position because it's not a very comfortable position, and then that's how it's really good.
And uses the
Really,
left hand on
really
the first
good.
volume.
Really, really cool. She could only jump up now because
Do
that's.
you think she'll match her hands where her right hand is, or will she go for it?
I think she want to go for it because it's a jug. Yay.
She does go for it.
It's a jug. I mean, like, she's. I think it's her first or second attempt, so she should be good with it. She's got still a lot of time to come back to this position and then just be a little bit more committed to it.
Got Alexei Rubtsov of Russia on men's problem number 1.
If you remember last season's last competition, Alexei was the guy winning it, so he's definitely one of the people to look and to pay attention for. Okay, he's trying it very, very fast. He has to be a little bit more in control to because these volumes they're a bit slipping down, you know, and it's just not happening when you go really, really very fast on it. At the same time, Michaela just started up with number 1 again. That's interesting to see if she'd get back into the position. That's where she twisted off. Got a hold of the volume of the first one, but not this time.
So Alexei Rubtsov, he's have another look on quickly.
And yeah, at the same time, men's number 4, Jeremy Bondin finishing it off easy after getting the bottom sequence dialed, you could say, you know, like thinking off and what is the easiest beta and doing it. You'll see we see him right now just doing the top of that boulder, which should be a formality, and it is, huh? It's a very good performance of for Jeremy because he is, there's probably quite many other guys with two tops. It's going to be very interesting to see with the results for men how it's going to end up. And now we've got the sequences Martin Stranik was doing on number 1 from Alexei Rubtsov this time.
No, he doesn't like that problem.
But not getting there yet. And Michaela Tracy on number 1 as well, getting back into the Atlas position, you know, trying to...
She had that look of determination.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Almost.
Very, very close, and you could see that she
Almost
knows it
rested
was
there.
super close.
She almost had time to chalk up on that. She was gone to a great position, but just didn't quite stick that dyno.
It's a little bit of a boulder like that you move between positions, but once you're in them, it's getting a little bit more comfortable. And now on men's number 1, we've got one of the leaders. We've got Jan Hoyer coming up, and there's 5 more guys, including him, to go on that problem. So 5 more chances for the problem to be topped out. We've seen some bonuses on it done, for sure, by David Barons and by Martin Stranik. And at the same time, men's number 2, Sean McCall. Okay, we got Jan trying to get fast through the problem.
It's the
Didn't
first
seem
we've
to
seen
work.
of Jan Hoyer. Always there or thereabouts. And just to the left of him, on women's problem 1, we've got Shauna Coxey. First look at her as well. Looked very, very strong yesterday.
She looks quite comfortable in this position that's super uncomfortable for anybody else. And Fanny Gibet. Oh, it's just missing out the top, so close.
That looks like a good hole from here.
It is a
quite
good
hole.
It is a quite good hole. You know, it's a top jug after a series of crimps, so it is a hole.
There, that's the problem.
It is a hole, but you jump to and you just get it. But you have to get the height from, you know, like pulling off the crimps. And as we could see before, Yanya or Jessica Pills or Sosa, they didn't have so much problem with that, but it is still not an easy move. I hope you guys watching this are enjoying the semis as they are, because it's you have to remember it's the first round.
Well, the route setters have done a wonderful job. Wonderful job.
I mean, like we'll see with when it's over with the full overall results. You know, like it's super hard to judge somewhere at the beginning or even halfway of the round, because like strange things can happen. And
it's worth remembering as well, the climbers are in reverse order. So if you finished first in the qualification, you will be out last in the semis. So theoretically, and I repeat, it is purely theoretical, the strongest climbers will be last according to their rank for the qualification.
You know, for us, what's important about rounds like this is that we know that we get all the problems done, but at the same time, not all the problems get done by everybody or by the same person. So one thing is the diversity of the problems, and the second thing is getting the level, you know, the level just correct for these climbers to be able to do them at the end, because it's somehow a mystery in the end if you don't get a problem done. You know, everybody keeps you asking, okay, so what the hell was happening there?
Do you find that the climbers come and seek you out afterwards sometimes and say, that problem, what was the beta?
Yeah, of course, of course, it's. I mean, like for them, it's an experience to be learning from as well. So it's quite clear that and come on, in a week they'll be in China and they'll be competing again.
Japan.
And in Japan. Then they'll be in China. But it's you know, it's.
Speaking of Japan, we had a top there from Kokoro Fuji on men's problem 4.
We've got Jan Hoyer finishing up numbers 1. 1 minute before the end of it.
Doesn't like that.
He doesn't like that problem at all.
I spoke to him yesterday.
Maybe now we should say this the name of this.
No, I chatted to Jan yesterday, and he looked pretty keen. He looked in pretty good shape. I think possibly lost a bit of weight. The weight he did have was muscle, but he looked even leaner.
Well, he did
popping out everywhere. He looked like a man on a mission this year. He's doing every event.
He was one of the few guys to top out 4 problems, you know, in the qualifying round. And Fanny Gibet.
Fanny Gibet, big kick of the legs there and a big smile.
Yeah.
She comes into this in good form.
It's going to be very interesting to see, because we'll have the next round. We'll have Yanya Gambit on women's number 4, and that's the only problem that hasn't been done for women yet. And it's worth saying for sure that Yanya did the 3 other problems.
Yeah. So.
Okay, we've got the men.
Yeah, so Jakob Schubert in first place, but only on attempts for bonus. He's had 2 tops and 1 bonus, as has Jorg Verhoeven.
Well, it's going to be important now to see, because you have the blank spot on Tyler Landman on the problem number 4. And if he tops it out, he's going to be the first one with 3 tops.
Yeah. And you can see from that leaderboard, as well as Tyler, there are 4 other climbers who already have 2 tops. Yeah. So Jakob and Jorg,
let's see
2 tops and 2 bonus, but whether that is enough,
can we see, guys, woman number 4? Because we've got Yanya Gambit coming on that one. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens here, because she's been so far the strongest ones of the round on this thing. And at the same time, we see Leah Crane on woman number 3, topping it out.
Leah Crane for Britain. Tops out problem number 3.
You've got Janja on the bonus. Going really going really relaxed on it. Okay, this should be a formality from now on. Well, I'm not sure if you remember how Katarina Saverin was at that spot.
Yeah.
She was not having an easy
No.
time.
If you can chalk up midway through a World Cup semi-final boulder
And go
You're strong.
ecstatic to a last jug. I mean, ooh.
wow, what a statement from Janja. We're going to get a replay of that. That was awe-inspiring. Having seen strong climbers like Katja Zauwein really struggling on that move. Well, that was in slow motion, but only just. In real life. She just cruised up there.
It was slow motion of slow motion. It was like a like a double slow motion. She was first of all really in control of that move, and second of all, we had the slow motion. But at the same time, we could see just before that Thailand man topping up men's number 4, which brings us to the leader, to the guy doing the first one, to have done 3 problems. And well, we know what's Jerne and the rest of the guys coming up, what's their goal going to be. And we've got still Jerne, we've got Albon Levier, Skuru Hori, Rustam Gelmanov. We'll see if they'll be able to solve the first one, the first problem, because that's the only one so far not been topped out. Got Alexei Rubtsov, you can see him on men's number 2 on the right side, trying to get up on that ball, and he doesn't. He puts the foot.
Have a look at men's 1 here. It was so good to get your beater. You think that Yannick Kruder, who we're looking at here on problem 1, he's got it right. Speaking of getting it right, Alexei Rubtsov.
Exactly. Yeah. He's up, and it's the last move. But I said it's not anything but. Okay. Yeah. He's in control. That's very good.
Nice, and holds it. Very controlled. Quite rightly took his time. He got stood up and thought, I could blow this. Take my time and go for it. So yeah, men's problem 1. Ned Kruder. He of the Mohawk. We've seen several variations on the last few years of this haircut. Whatever he does with his hair.
Probably you should guys do like a collage, like a mix-up of and try to adjust the ears to the haircut mode, of different climbers, not just Jerne, but different climbers,
Well, we got a long flight to Japan on Tuesday, so maybe we can work on the graphics. We'll create some graphics,
Get some pictures from the past years, and then do a small thing somewhere on the IFSC site, like a small competition for the people watching us out here, and try to get the years to the haircut and to the people.
That'd be a great quiz. Great quiz. Slightly easier if it was about me. I'd probably go back to the 1990s, but Yaneg would be a good one. Whatever he's doing, it's working for his climbing. Quite an unusual way of doing that move. I mean, if he's going to do it that way, he's going to need a lot of body tension. Surely the best way is to keep his feet on the starting hold. I don't know.
The best way is, in fact, to get just the right foot and try to find the balance, and at the same time be hanging on this volume. But it's always the fact that it's not just how much you're pulling on it; it's as well on how is the friction on it, how much you're sweating off your hands or not sweating off your hands.
That
so
like
all
the
these things they play a role. Okay.
So a quick recap on the women's results. Janja Garmbret, she will be in the final with 4 tops in 11 attempts.
And so
Second
far,
place, Clementine Kaiser, and in 3rd place, Fanny Gibert. Good semi-final so far for the French climbers. Petra Klinger, the local hero, 1 top, 1 bonus in 4th. Britain's Leah Crane has had 1 top, no bonus on the other 2.
So far, the only one who could get somewhere close to the result of Janja is Fanny, that got 2 problems done, and she's got 1 more to go still. It's going to be interesting to see if she can pick up with the competition. At the same time, we got Albon Levier coming up on men's number 1, Megan Mascarenas on women's number 1, and Jan Hoyer getting up.
He's known as, Jan's training video a few years back went viral. We all know how strong he is. people underestimate his raw climbing ability. Mantling like this and awkward. On the face of it, it's not a problem that would necessarily play to his better known strengths, but we're quite close to that.
I mean, like, to be winning the World Cup, you know, only need to be strong for sure. You know, like having all these results that he's had throughout the years, it's not just about strength. It's about climbing and being good in climbing, and that's so much more than just being strong on I don't know, fingers, slopers, or whatever else.
Am I dreaming, or is Jan ever so slightly leaner than previous years? Perhaps.
I don't know, you have a different quiz coming up, you know.
Of course, we'll save all this information. We were separated at birth, from the neck down, Jan and I. It's very similar biceps. So he's having another look at it. Those two starting holds on men's problem 2, are they as poor as they look?
Well, you could see that they do the job. I mean, like these guys, they go up on them. It's everything relative, you know. I mean,
they're not positive by any means, are they?
You could say, like, you could just see women's number 3. Who is that? I think that's Mio. I think that's Mio Nanaka climbing on that one, and you could see her not hanging on the crimps while Yanya or the other girls that topped it out just did it without a problem. So it's all relative, you know. Like, you would ask Yanya, she would say, yeah, it's good holds, and you would ask Mia, and she would say, oh god, that's like small crimps.
And on men's problem 3, we've got Sean McCall, who looks like he could be about to get a top.
It's somehow interesting because we've got 1 minute 50 to go, and that's the easiest problem of the round. And many of the guys managed to flash it. Many of the guys managed to do it, you know, first go. And Sean is somehow struggling on it. This is not good information for Sean, because it seems so far, as we were looking for the results, that you needed at least 2 tops. And well, that's one of the last two that's the last 2 problems that he's on. Like, he didn't have any top before.
Jan's back up on the bonus hole, problem 2.
Yeah.
It's a case of hip flexibility, balance, body position, keeping your hips closer in. Oh, the smallest movement spits you off that.
It is, huh? It is quite technical, but you need to lean really against the wall, and at the same time you have a lot of muscles
because as soon
in
as
your bums.
As soon as you lean into the wall, your feet are beginning to get pushed backwards. So you've got to find that perfect point.
Yeah.
Here's Sean McCall, problem 3.
Last try, not getting there.
It looked on his previous attempt that we saw from a distance. We weren't close up, but we saw it from a way back, and it looked like he had no trouble topping it out. That last move just defeated him.
There's 40 seconds to go, so Sean's going to have one more try. At the same time, Mio Nanaka finishing up. Women's number 3.
Mihio Nanaka on problem 3 for the women.
And Rei Sugimoto, I think, huh? Yeah, there was Rei Sugimoto on men's number 4, last one. And now we could see left bottom corner, Sean McCall, men's number 3. One more try. This is a problem.
So close to that move. Presumably, once he gets his feet up, he is.
Yeah.
He should be home and dry then.
This is a problem he needs to do if he wants to get into the final.
Some discussion there between Sean and the judge.
Timeout.
More to say about that a bit later on.
Timeout change, and one of the last climbers coming up in the round, that's Tsukuru Hori and Melissa Laneve. One of the last chances for men to top out men's number 1, and for women to to have one more go on women's number 1 as well, because if we remember well, it's only Yanya so far topping it out, and only Fanny getting to the bonus on that one.
Meanwhile, on women's 4, we have Britain's Leah Crane with a 2 just to her left. There's a Leah far right of your picture.
Now
really
for you really months for you to cheer opinions and cheer girls, it's their time to be in the final. Gela getting higher up. And she's on the first crimp. She's on a second crimp. Should be able to flash that one up. And at the same time, Sean, don't really.
Top for Kayla Trey, but with Leah in fourth.
Yeah.
For Kayla.
Yeah.
So if we go back to Lynn,
It's a big to, you know, traveling on the volumes. You cannot go fast. That's what's about to say. You have to be gentle with these moves.
So the way, I guess, slide with her left hand and the same reposition her right.
But that's not working. That's not working. You're off balance if you go too fast. You have to go in control to the blue first hold.
Yeah. Looking very strong. I saw Jung Won Chon earlier, the World Cup champion, really struggle with that problem to Gabrielle. And I think if he can hold this crimp, he can. In the bag just now it is. Now it is. Great work from Gabrielle. I haven't thought much about him so far.
Let's see women's number one, because we've got Melissa Leneve up on the top.
Hey,
gonna maybe.
Number one.
No, we have it.
And if you heard a cheer, because we got successful, Melissa Leneve, women's one, only the second top of that problem.
There you can see it. No problem with doing that move, and you can see her teammate Fatty move 2 times.
Energy for a one-arm hang, wave to the crowd.
Very good. That's a very good performance from her side, and that already brings her much closer to the final than for the rest. But it's as usual, three more problems to be done. You never know.
So we've got Yaneg Kruder here. He's on problem 2. Didn't like the first one. Not many have. Like that Rocco. No. Not using up any energy. Not return to the ground. Your attempt is from when you leave the ground to when you return. So this is all one attempt, you know. He was initially going with his left elbow doing most pushing, but it looks like he's swapping it up. But he will take it back. He's got 1 minute to go. The amount he's used on this attempt, I hope he's going to stick it. I don't know how much he'll have left. You can see the effort written all over his face.
That's some serious. That's some serious fight, and whoa. I guess that's what you want to guys see, you know.
This is extraordinary. 1 point contact was the palm of his.
Oh! What fight from here? I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, well, there's 20 seconds on the clock. I'm sure there's 5 minutes right now.
Look, he looks tired walking off. I'm not surprised. At one point there, that was unbelievable. He had his left hand in between his legs, palm facing down, his arm off, and both his feet off. Everything going through that unbelievable left.
Now we see the results for men. We still got Tai Lanman in the lead, but with possibility of Alexei Rubtsov coming up and picking up with him. But he's not going to be in the lead because we've got only he's already had 4 attempts. But he might be the next one with doing 3 tops. And so far, I think these guys can be quite sure they're going to be in the final if you do 3 tops, huh? It's kind of too early still to talk through that, or but if you maybe made some calculations, you know how much possible it is. At the same time, last 2 competitors, Rustam Gelmanov.
Last 2 competitors. So just to reiterate, these were the winners of the qualification. On the left, you got Akio Noguchi, 4-time overall World Cup champion. That's quite a record. And Rustam Gelmanov, also World Cup champion. Should point out Rustam's overall win was in 2012. He is staggeringly consistent. He has been in the top 6 of every overall World Cup season since 2008. There's one for the statisticians out there. Not sure
okay, but he's picking up the beta with the small foot.
And if you heard a cheer from the crowd there, that's because we have a top on women's problem 3 from Shauna Coxey. So, Akio Noguchi on the left, the reigning champion. Rustam Gelmanov on the right.
Akio doesn't seem to want to turn around, you know, at the first on the first move. She doesn't want to face the public move. I mean, doing it the way that's kind of seems the less physical one. She's still got time. In the meanwhile, bottom left side, there was Jan Hoyer trying up men's number 3, and we've got back again Rustam Gelmanov, the last one, to try to solve the idea of men's number 1.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've had anyone onto the hold above the bonus yet on this problem, let alone the top.
No. We've had 2 guys being on the bonus, being quite stable, and there was Martin Stranik and David Barnes, so nobody passing that point.
Don't worry, Rustamov. It would seem they do get marginally easier the next few. This does appear to have been the hardest one for the men. It looked like he was not too far off holding that volume. He's got a bit more information now, had a couple of tries. You see Jan Hoyer there on problem 3. He's just got to get that mantle. This was the move. So Sean McCall pretty much got to here when he was on it.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's done, but clearly from what we saw from Sean, it isn't. Remember, Jan cannot touch the side of that wall to his right. It's taped off, but he doesn't need it. Both hands on the finishing hole, tops it out. Very nonchalant. Hands on hips, he's just watching Sean climb now. There goes Sean. That was a big jump from Sean. Ooh. That's the first way we've seen that done. Went with the right hand off the pinch.
Yeah.
Matt simultaneously.
Have a look at men's number 2, because we've got Alban Levier
Here he
going up slab, which really good effort, and it's now only
Everyone who's got this made.
slightly committed. Last move, do not slip move, because as you can see, no often called match. Very well done. I see a replay of move second. Starting position for Alban.
What we're seeing here, he very precisely placed his foot. There's not even a hold. Obviously like that spot on the wall, and it worked for him. Great stuff. He even hung on a second just to say it. See what I have here, men's problem. The left of your screen. Much more static than we've seen. That black and white volume. Now you the way to do it to be done.
I don't know, Charlie, come on.
To question it now.
You tell me it's 10 seconds, so I'll give it seconds. I think unfortunately it's over with this one.
So, and Akio, we should report, did not get to the top of women's problem 1. The halls. Don't forget, the finals are at 6 p.m. Central European time. Make sure you join us.
Okay, and we just had a top on women's number 3 by Stasha Gale. Just the middle of the round done, and but at the same time, it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to be happening now on the women's slab. So that is women's number 2 with Melissa Lenev being the second girl to top out women's number 1, and now trying out the slab. Well,
so Melissa, we should clarify. Melissa yesterday, I know to her first. So top problem 1. You just see on 1 4 that's off.
Well,
just needs to go again with the left. There he is. Now you'd have thought he needs his right foot where his left is.
but
perhaps not. No.
No.
And looked a marginally harder way of doing it with Jakov. We see them suddenly put that there.
Yeah, we got a replay of that last move that seems to qualify Alexei to the final because he's tied, not tied, but he's the only one together with Thai Landman to have done 3 problems of that final round. And, well, we will not see anybody doing 4 problems because we've already got the last ones up and the last ones didn't do the first one. So it's going to be interesting to see now if what will be the score, that will bring you to the final. Is it going to be truth problems and very little attempts, or it's going to be 3 problems in the end? Alban Levier topped out. We've still got Tsukuru Hori, and we've still got Rustam Gelmanov to top out the first one.
Slightly comedy moment. Michaela Tracy fell off the wall. Oops, to the crowd. Much to the amusement of the commentator. Our live commentator. We can see men's problem 3, Yaneg Kruder. He of the Mohawk, no trouble. Tops it out. So men's problem 2 and women's problem 2 proving problematic for these two climbers. Tsuku Hori of Japan on the men's problem on the left, and Melissa Leneve of France on women's problem 2 on the right. Michaela Trace is still out there, bottom right of your screen, trying that 4th women's problem.
She had a really good run yesterday on the qualies. I don't know if you watched it, but it was a really good run by Michaela, and she qualified very high up.
Yeah, she made her first semi in 2014, Michaela, and placed 6th in the World Championships in Munich that year, so she's one to watch, climbing very well this weekend. And here goes Tsuku Hori. Bit like Yaneg Kruder, has a go, doesn't like it, but doesn't come off the wall. Now we haven't seen this before. Heel hook, he's got a minute left.
Oh.
This is such physical climbing. Not tiny crimps. These big, huge volumes. It's whole body climbing, your shoulders, your back. Even your hamstrings are getting tired. Goes to the Egyptian. Looks awkward, but he might make that stick. No. Readjusting now with elbow. No. That's easy. So, 27 there. The 2.
One of these, the delicacy and but much more balanced and much more delicate. Sorry for my one of these where you have tried to be in balance to keep on moving forward, and same last one. And at the same time on the right side, Jan Hoyer, Megan Mascarenas and Shauna Coxey on the last.
And we can see here on the right of the screen, World Cup champion.
Trying to her position. And let's see how the kind of in on the first move, her free first attempt. And at the same time,
here you hear the captain massive straight through. Wasn't enough, does a pogo, he's got a bit left.
Yes, got it, second it, a bit of purpose.
Behind, big cheer for
on the right side, we've got Shauna Kokasi going up to the bonus. Let's see if he can control these moves and get it.
Now we've seen a few variations on how to do this one. She looks very controlled. She's been runner-up for the last 2 years in the overall competition. Is this the year she finally makes the top step? The British team will be home.
And
yeah.
There's a replay move from women's number 4.
Up she goes.
Which leaves us with competitors left on the wall right now, and that's just Gelmanov and Akiuchi. We can definitely focus on see how are they going to do their problems of the move, let's say, for the men.
Oh, the shot ability needed. This one is close to testing every climber's arsehole with the shoulder. You then get your elbow underneath you, your heel hook, your mantle. It's a lot of moves to hold.
A lot of moves on one hold, exactly. It goes straight to the pulled it off. Now let's see if he's able to get the second thing done. I mean, like, has to be exhausted already after catching that shoulder move with that into mantle on the same hand, you know.
Yeah, you can see when he went with the left hand for the bonus hold, straight off the tension higher to facing outward at arm's length is extraordinary. Got a kill and 2. Not joy so far. Come on, Kim. Rock on that right foot. No. Go to the right hand. What do you think there? Are they better or just try to stand up straight away?
Standing up is a better system.
It's because even if you sit your hand, you then
still
such a bad...
still have to stand up on the right foot position.
Yeah, okay.
It's well, here where you just have to place the feet correct.
She's trying
and believe that it stands there and lift yourself up with a lot of confidence that it's gonna stay.
So much of it's a personal thing that does count for a lot.
I mean, like you could see that, for example, Sean trying up Marin's number. He didn't get it. Well, I think the guys of the round got it. So it's kind of diversity, but you've got different problems and you got different guys solving different things, and not all of them doing everything.
Okay, new climbers in 2, 1. So now we really are getting to the business end of the semi-finals. This is when it will be decided.
Yeah, we've got only 2 problems left, and I think we have to say that it comes down to these 2 problems when if looking at men, you know, who does them faster with less amount of attempts, because we've got only 2 guys with 3 problems done. No, sorry, 3 guys will be having. It's going to be Alexei Rubtsov, Thailand man, and Albon Levier.
Well, we had that heartbreaking attempt from Yannick Kruder on the last boulder,
Yeah.
and he does look, I don't want to say tired, but take his time. In the foreground here, Suzuki Hori. This would be quick if he can do it. He can do it. No trouble. Got a replay here of Suzuku.
And at the same time, we're going to have a replay, guys, of Melissa doing problem number 3, which is quite important because it's, in my view, one of these things you can see really nicely just getting it easy hanging on these scrims. Doing the last move. Really good performance of her, and gets her much closer to the final. And leaves us again with 2 climbers only. Charlie with Yevney on number 4 and Stasha on number 4 as well.
So let's have a look. Women's problem 4. Strange that the climbers who've topped it, it's almost looked like they've been quite in control. No one's only just made it. They've either done it relatively easily or fallen off.
Well, looking at how Duyanya did it, was kind of
That was humbling.
It was humbling a little bit, yeah. But it's as well, as I've said before, the type of the problem that it has to be done a little bit more in control, a little bit more slowly. You cannot go really fast on it. And what Sasha is doing here, it's really good performance, and she's getting close. She might be the one topping it out as well.
This is Sasha Giho. She's Serbian.
Yay!
She is Serbian. But she actually moved to Slovenia in her teens in order to improve her climbing, get to better training facilities, better coaches. She learnt a new language, swapped schools, moved her family. Very dedicated to climbing, and it would appear to be paying off.
Well, she was very close to that. She's still got just under 2 minutes to go. And, well, depending on the strategy she takes for that problem, it's either 1 or maybe 2 attempts. For sure, she has to wait a little bit longer now to recover and make sure that next time she doesn't slip off a hole. And as I've said, it's like it's one of these type of moves where you have to be really slow in your motion and precise, because the holes you're going for are not big, and you just cannot hang on them if you lose your balance, if you lose your feet.
We are about to hear the buzzer for 1 minute left on this problem. Yaneg, I have to say, looks fatigued. Probably means...
And we could see Stasha taking it seems like a good strategy that she started off a little bit earlier on, and she didn't make the bottom moves. So she still got time to come back, but she's tired. Seems like she's tired, she's fallen off. Not getting her balance here. So good.
Oh, massive move from Yaneg.
That's a massive jump.
So he missed the bonus hold out altogether.
Like skipping it all.
Through he goes.
It's last seconds.
Well, who needs bonus holds? Who needs your feet? Extraordinary from Yaneg. There's me saying he looks a bit fatigued. I guess he thought, well, it's now or never.
There we have the replay of the last moves from Meiringen.
We see it here again.
It would be really interesting to see the replay of the move that he did to get to that chug. That was one. There was something definitely different that we could see before. Anyhow, is it? Yeah. Last two competitors on problems number 3. Last two and the third last coming up on problems number 4. One of them is Alban Olivier. If he does that one, he's gonna be the third person with 3 problems done of that round, and will secure this way the way to the final for himself. At the same time, Akio Naguchi number 3, Melissa Laneve number 4, Rustam Gelmanov number 3 for men. You've got it all now very well. You can see how it's happening from the left, from the right side.
We can see Akio here on problem number 3. That move caused a lot of problems to competitors earlier on.
She's
not having too much trouble with it so far.
She's cruising it quite easily.
And here we can see Rustam Gelmanov on problem 3.
And she tops it out easily.
Well done, Akio. Tops out problem 3.
And Rustam topping out number 3 as well.
Rustam Gelmanov tops out problem 3 for the
and
men.
Alban Olivier going flash to the jug on men's number 4.
Has he got the energy left? No.
Oh!
I think everybody that's made it to that hole has made it, but he burned a lot of energy early on.
Let's focus on Megan now, because she's getting close. And yes. Very good performance from Megan Mascarenas, guess.
Great work, Megan. Very muted response there. So with 3 minutes left, the only climber who hasn't topped their problem yet is Alban Olivier. Just see a replay there of Megan. Very controlled. Alban shaking out. Take his time, just wipes his forehead. There's no rush, got plenty of time. He knows he can do the crux moves. The key is having enough energy to do the moves above. So just a recap in the men's event while Alban gets ready. Tyler Landman currently leads the Brits, followed by Alexei Rubtsov and Jakob Schubert in 3rd, with Jorg Verhoeven close behind in 4th. Martin Stranik currently in 5th. And in the women's event, Janja Garnbrett is in 1st place. She's got 4 tops. Clémentine Kaiser of France in 2nd. Melissa Leneve in 3rd. But she is yet to come out for the final boulder. Megan Mascarenas with 2 tops is in 4th, and Shauna Coxey is in 5th.
It's interesting to see these results, because you have to remember it's the beginning of the season, it's the beginning of the circuit. Of course, you can have some predictions over who's the leader, who's the strongest, who's not, but it's competition. It's a bit of a different game. It's kind of like happening live, and it's very as well important feedback for everyone being in the circuit, involved in it. The route setters, the team coaches, to know what's going to be happening next, who to look for. And
so here's Alban to the black rail
and on the jug.
Stuck it.
Have to remember that's super important for him to top it out, because if he doesn't do it, he's out of the final.
Just needs to keep his cool here.
Yeah, keep his head.
Where he fell off last time.
Oh, okay.
Great work, Alban.
Very good. And this way he secures his place for the top. for the final. I mean, really good job with 3 tops done, together with Alexei Dubtsov and Thailand man.
Easy to lose your concentration though. He fell off on that move the first time round. This bit here we're about to see again. He had that crimp on his last attempt. Just lunged, made it with ease actually. By the time he got to the finishing hole, his arm was quite bent. He had a bit of room to spare.
Should get extra points for clapping with his feet.
We heard the clap from here. So the hall's been gradually filling all day here in Meiringen. As I said earlier, the town is home to about 5,000 people, but Interlaken is close by. Swiss capital Bern is not too far either.
Il y a encore une. Okay, second last climbers to come up. Sakura Hori, Melissa Lanev. For Melissa, it's a big chance to get 3 problems done, because she's a part of Yanya. She's the only one to top out number 1, and together with topping out women's number 3, if she makes this one, she's gonna secure her spot in the final. Well, it seems like already she is there, and something really. It's impossible for her not to be in the final already.
No pressure.
But it puts on the pressure, and it gives her it might give her a better position in the final. So although that's something that people do, discuss over many times of the starting order in the final. Is it better to come out last? Is it better to come out first? It's something that you can
opinion?
always.
What do you think?
What's my opinion? I don't know. I mean, like, ask the competitors. Don't ask me. I'm setting these things much more. I'm trying to look at it from different ways, and it's very hard to say. I don't think there is a. I'm really hard to to give an opinion what would be better. It's different. It's definitely different, and it very much depends on the head of the competitor. Where you like more. You want to come up as the favorite on the last one, and
a lot of it's psychology as well. Some climbers are at their best when they're under maximum pressure. Other
Exactly.
people are at their best when they just stroll out, no pressure. So I see your point. Melissa's shaking her head there. She knows she was close. Looks pretty settled on that blue volume, and it looked like a slight shift in her body weight just spat her off.
And that's exactly the thing that's happening. Like, your feet have to be exactly in this position, and your body has to be in really good position as well, because as much as you pick up a little bit of speed, you're just out of it. You have to go really precise with these holds and with these moves. And at the same time, we have Tsukuru Hori trying to figure out this problem number 4.
Has a quick shake out. Leads with the right hand. Possibly a bit of fatigue kicking in there. You could see when he missed with his left foot that first time. Seemed to shake him a bit.
We have to remember that it's like these guys, they already tried or climbed 3 other boulders, and they had 5 minutes of rest in between only, and they came down to the isolation zone with our climbers coming up, either happy, either sad. It's this game. What is behind the stage, it's super important as well. So it's like a very, very intense half an hour or even more of climbing and rest in between, and staying very much focused, and remembering that it's the best performance that gets you to the final. You're not gonna get there easy. You've got 20 other people willing to be in the final in your place, and trying their best as well. So it's kind of important to remember that at this stage, you can be tired,
So he's got 1 minute left. And so is Melissa.
And Tsukuri's over the hard bottom part,
Just
in
gotta
the
keep
upper
his body
section.
tension, keep his foot on. He does it.
And he sticks it.
I have to say I was slightly pessimistic about his chances. He looked like he was tiring. looked slightly despondent after his foot slipped off early on an earlier attempt, but got it together, and you can see here the top out was pretty controlled.
That's something we already talked about before, but just the last move is pretty much something that, yeah, you have to do, you know.
Here we see Melissa on women's problem 4.
Just to
Got
match
that blue volume with the left hand.
No,
Legs
go
starting to
fast.
shake. Oh, big round of applause from the crowd for Melissa. You could tell she gave that one everything that she had.
Okay, guys, if you're watching it right now, still don't take a coffee yet, because it's only 5 more minutes of this semi. We got the last ones coming up. At the same time, the best ones of their group from the qualifying round. That is Aki Onoguchi, Rustam Gelmanov. Problems number 4. Last problems of these semis, and last changes that can happen on the group that coming up in the final that you'll see today, later on. 6 o'clock it is.
Yeah, the final today is 6:30 p.m. Central European time.
Make sure to join us to see what's going to be happening. It's something always is exciting to see in the final when you've got only 2 climbers at the same time. So make sure to have the time to tune in, you know, and to watch. And at the same time, last 2 climbers coming out. Let's see how they're going to be doing. Got Rustam on the bonus, trying to match, not making it quite. If you watched it closely, you've seen different betas of this problem, and it's quite interesting to see how fast will Rustam manage to to solve this small puzzle. And we've got Akio match in the zone. At the same time, remember he had Stasha here already, but zipping off the last foothold, and now Akio is much more in control. Only 1 move away from the top and from securing her way of the final. Whoa!
That was
Seems
a
like
very
it.
controlled top out from Akio. And look at the relief on her face. The look on Akio's face was great then. Oh.
I hope that's not, God, I'm happy I'm over with this round. I hope much more is like, oh, yeah, I'm in the final.
Well, it looked very controlled, but having seen that expression on her face, I wonder if she was a little closer to the edge than she let on. Either way, she made it. And the only climber left, the last action we're going to see today, well, in the semi-finals, is Rustam Gelmanov.
And we've got the last actor up on the stage, you know. And it would be really a pity to miss Rustam from the final. Be really nice to see him there. He's got the zone. Not really able to match it, and not really getting a different beta on this problem. He's not got so much more time to solve it, because it's just up above 2 minutes.
Quite strange. This is one of the problems that has seen a few tops, and Rustam was looking really strong in the semi-finals. So if we went on form and number of tops, you would expect him to get this. But so much can depend on your preference, just the nature of the problem. Do you figure it out quickly? Have you got the power left? You see him there, he's really resting down on his knees.
It depends so much more as well on how much focused you are, how much in the moment, how much you're thinking, this is the only way I can do it. And
as we talked about earlier, the psychology of it is so important.
Next time you have to get a psycholog here, you know, like to be talking with you. Not talking with you, but talking about these climbers. Don't get me wrong, I mean, like, nothing personal about it, not at all.
I'm fine, it's the climbers we need to talk about. Are you sensing a bit of fatigue in Rustam's movements here?
Oh, yeah.
The way he went for that hold there. You know, we've seen climbers earlier on go straight past that.
Yeah, getting the palm of the second hold and just skipping off left hand pinch, going up straight from the palm, and that's the way they did it quite often. And well, Rustam's got not much more time because it's like 45 seconds left on the clock. And if he doesn't, but well, yeah, there he goes. He found a different beta.
Yes.
And he found a different solution, exactly, yeah.
As if by magic. I can assure you Ruscam is not listening to the live commentary, but
He's got 3 moves left.
he liked my idea of skipping straight through. And he does top it.
Really good. Really, really good performance by Rustam.
Well, it's not often that I come up with an idea and the climber does it straight away. I'm quietly happy with that. I'll take that.
Charlie, I leave you up with this. I have to get back to work, and we'll probably catch you up on the final round.
That would be great. And thank you very much for your input and insight.
Thanks very much, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you back or talk to you back in for the final rounds. Now, stay with the results of the women. Stay with Charlie, with you. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. So, the women's results with 4 tops. At the top of the pile is Janja Garbere of Slovenia, followed in second by Clementine Kaiser. 2 tops, 1 bonus hold. And in third, Melissa Lenev, also 2 tops and 1 bonus. Megan Mascarenas, Akia Noguchi and Shauna Coxey make up the rest of the top 6 and will go into the final, while Fanny Gibert, 2 tops, 1 bonus. Michaela Tracy and Stasa Giho and Petra Klinger make up the rest of the top 10. Remember, these results are provisional, but as it stands, that will be the top 10. And in the men, number 1, Tyler Landman. Second, Alban Levier. Third, Alexei Rubsov, all with 3 tops. Then we have Jakob Schubert, Jörg Verhoeven and Martin Stranek rounding out the top 6. Mikael Mauen, not too far off in 7th. Gabriel Moroni, Kokoro Fuji and Jan Hoyer rounding out the top 10. Jan possibly slightly disappointed not to make that. Well, that is all we've got time for today for the semi-finals. Make sure you join us at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time for the finals here in Meiringen. See you then.